Retreat, Virginia to Russellville, Tennessee, Flag Pond, Tennessee, all the way over to Fleming Neon, Kentucky, and all points in between, you have found Southern States Wrestling in prime time here on Tri-Cities TNN. Hello again, everybody. It's your friend here, Beau James, and what an exciting program we got here today. Fall is in the air. I'm supporting my home state Titans right here, my beloved Titans. I was an older fan before they ever came to Tennessee, and they got here, just made me the happiest man in the world. And I'm hoping for a big year for them as everybody else is this year. But we're here to talk about wrestling, not talk about football. And we're talking about November 30th year of rocking. Rock and Roll Express, Robert Gibson, Ricky Morton, back together right here in the Mountain Empire, right here today. Call a friend, tweet it, Facebook it, social media, scream it out the window. The Rock and Roll Express is right here today in action, and they're going to be talking to each and every one of you at home right there today, right here on this program. We're going to kick it off Hudson, North Carolina this past week. The TV cameras are there. Southern States Wrestling Ladies Champion Misty James defending against a third-generation star, Samantha Star. And I'm talking about the daughter of Babydoll, the daughter of Sam Houston, the niece of Jake the Snake Roberts, and her grandparents also long-time legendary wrestling careers in the state of Texas. Let's go to it right now. Hudson, North Carolina, Misty James, Southern States Ladies Champion, Samantha Star. Catch the action. Southern States Ladies title on the line. Misty James defending against Samantha Star from Hudson, North Carolina. And you can see the large crowd here at the rec center. And Misty comes out of the corner. She's ready to wrestle. First a big arm drag and a snapmare. And I don't believe Samantha Star thought she was going to come out that strong right off the bat. Referee Mark Foley backing Misty up as Samantha's already complaining about something. And Misty's ready to go. I tell you, Misty James is a favorite no matter where we go, whether it's Hudson, North Carolina, Asheville, North Carolina, Mobile, Alabama, Mount Carmel, Kingsport, Johnson City right here in the home area, or over where she's from in Southwest Virginia, or even the hills of West Virginia. Misty James is always the fan favorite, and you see Samantha Star says, hey, I wasn't ready, let's shake hands and then we'll get started wrestling. I don't know whether we can trust Samantha Star or not. This is our first time seeing her, but she comes in here with a great pedigree. Oh, looky there. Misty had one of those moments where she had a heart and she just got hit right in the throat. Samantha Star is the daughter of the legendary valet of Tully Blanchard and the Four Horsemen and Dusty Rhodes, Babydoll. And she has come to Hudson, North Carolina in hopes of winning this Southern States Ladies title. And I'm going to tell you, she got that opening and all it took. And now look at the chokehold right there in the corners. Mark Foley, the referee's making the count. This Samantha Star is not playing around. She sucker kicked Misty, but she took her thumb and jammed it right in her throat, and Misty's having a hard time breathing after the chokehold. Come on, there you go. Misty fighting back. She's fighting back, but it's hard to fight back when you're breathing. There's just an old-fashioned thumb right in the eye. Samantha Star is showing early here that she's not here to play by the rules. Now just a handful of hair, just throwing Misty down by her hair. Both hands in her hair once again. Mark Foley, the referee's warning her, but he's not making her break the hold. Samantha pulls her out. Was she going for a count here? I don't think she's going to get her this easy. No. It's only going to take that 1 second. Back to the hair again and back to the choke. I'm going to tell you, this young lady right here is ruthless, and she's come to break every rule in the book tonight, I believe. Now just bad-mouthing the referee. Telling the fan she has a 5 count. I bet she better worry more about Misty James than the referee and the people here. You give Misty a long break, she's going to get her wind back, and she's going to come out of the corner fighting. Another shot right straight in the throat. Now a forearm upside the head and both handful of hair again. This Samantha Star is not playing around, arguing with the referee once again. Big kick right in the small of the back. Let me tell you, that hurts. She's going for another. I'm telling you, it's a lazy cover. If you're going to get that Southern States Ladies title, you're going to have to hold her down and hook the leg. And back to the choke once again. Look at Samantha Star breaking the rules repeatedly here tonight. This big crowd in Hudson, North Carolina, 100% behind Misty James. And look here, Samantha once again arguing with the referee when she should be worrying about her opponent. Misty throws a short jab right into her stomach. Big forearm across the back. Here, that may be the break that Misty was waiting on. She got her again. Now she's got a handful of hair. She's going to give her a little bit of the medicine that she was just taking. Straight face first into the turnbuckle. Here we go again. Corner number 2. Wow. She has made Misty mad. Misty came out to wrestle. She shook her hand in good faith, and Samantha Star, barely got out of there. She shook her hand in good faith, and Samantha Star broke the rules. Time restraints, we have to jump ahead just a little bit. Samantha Star went to the throat again. Misty is rolled out on the apron, and Samantha is having another argument with the referee. In comes Misty again. Here's the schoolboy roll up. 1, 2, and almost a 3 count. Samantha Star is worrying more about the referee, worrying more about the crowd, and she just about lost the match now. She runs to the ropes. I'm going to tell you this, Babydoll evidently has had Samantha Star training with Tully Blanchard, because that was always a favorite maneuver of Tully Blanchard. When he was in trouble, he would either hit the floor, grab the ropes, whatever it took. But this young lady is worried more about the crowds than she is her opponent. She continues to yell. I'm going to tell you, she has just a bad attitude, a rotten attitude. She came out here to break rules and argue with people and argue with the referee. Misty's ready to wrestle. Nice go behind gut wrench. She's going to take her down here, I'm sure. There it is. Now we're seeing some wrestling holds. Misty with a front face lock on her. Mark Foley in there, the referee, asking Samantha Star, do you want to give it up? Have you had enough? This young lady, I can't see her, but I can tell you, sitting here ringside, these two are just bad-mouthing each other. There's a little wrestling for Samantha Star. Third-generation star, as I said. She's able to sit out and come out with the arm. That's a very good technical hold. Very good wrestling ability. I don't know why she wasn't showing that earlier. Now, straight back to the choke hold again. Breaking the rules. Mark Foley makes her break. These two girls are just bad-mouthing each other now. I mean, another handful of hair. This is their first time ever meeting, and this has turned into a personal issue here. Misty came to defend her title, wrestle with 100% everything she has got, just like she does every time she goes out there. But Samantha Star has went after shortcut after shortcut. Nice reversal by Misty. Side headlock. Misty in control again, back to the wrestling. Woo, takes her over with power and authority. Whoa, very close 3 count there. Barely got the shoulder up. Nice wrestling. I'll give it to Samantha Star. Out of the headlock into leg scissors. She's able to wrestle when she wants to, but for some reason now she's bad-mouthing the referee again. I don't know if we have missed something, if there's been some kind of issue with Mark Foley and Samantha Star from the beginning, or what is going on here, but boy, these two have an issue. Misty trying her best to get out of this leg scissors. Nice revert, rolls over. Samantha Star able to block. She went to get the legs. Another handful of hair, and Samantha back to the ropes once again. I'm going to tell you, this girl, every time she gets in trouble, she just either goes for a shortcut, runs for those ropes, grabs a handful of hair, hits her in the throat. Now she's just backing off. Misty's mad, and I'm telling you, these two girls are bad-mouthing each other. They are ready. Misty says, you want to fight? We'll fight right now. And Samantha showing maybe she doesn't want to fight. Maybe she wants to go back to the wrestling. I thought she was going for something in the knee pad. She is running again. Mark Foley trying to get her out of the corner, away from the ropes, telling her to come on. Samantha Star is now demanding another referee. She's yelling for her mother, Babydoll, to bring another referee out here. She wants another referee. She's had enough of Mark Foley. There, Misty rolls her up from behind again. 1, 2, and 3. She got it. Little delay on the bell, but that was a 3 count. Your winner. Yes, there it is. Misty just realized it was a 3 count. Winner and still Southern States Ladies Champion, Misty James. And you see the large crowd here in Hudson, North Carolina is very pleased with that. There you saw a big win for Misty James, Southern States Ladies Champion. Still on a roll. Samantha Star has already told SSW officials she'd like to come right here to the Mountain Empire. She'd like to get a shot at Misty James and that title one more time. She worried about the fans. She worried about the referee too much. Misty got her head in the game, and she beat her right there. Now, last week, Joe Wheeler and myself talked to you about fundraisers. I want to show you just a few things from this summer. Worland, Wyoming newspaper, big write-up when the stars of Southern States Wrestling toured the Rockies, championship wrestling of the Rockies. Powell, Wyoming, big fundraiser out there in Powell we did for the Relay for Life. Filled up the Fairgrounds Arena there in Powell, Wyoming. Cody, Wyoming, another big town that hosted Southern States while we was out there. Belfouche, South Dakota. All these towns that we did great time out there. We raised some money for some great community organizations, and I don't want people spreading rumors that, hey, Beau James has forgot where he came from. Hey, Southern States Wrestling ain't helping us. We don't know about you unless you send us an email. I'm talking to you volunteer fire departments. I'm talking to police departments. I'm talking to Pee Wee football. 8th grade trips coming up in the spring. Don't wait. Let's do it right now. Let's raise the money this fall so you have your budget. I'm talking about Pee Wee football, Little League baseball, church groups, civic organizations, and I know there's a lot of Relay for Life groups out there that need to raise some money. Right here's a word on how you can bring the TV stars to your town and raise money for your organization while doing it.
If you're part of a nonprofit organization, listen to this. Make Southern States Wrestling a part of your next fundraiser or charitable event. Southern States Wrestling has spent years working with organizations, and they can help you too. Bring in the stars of Southern States Wrestling for a night of family fun and a great way to raise money for your group.
To get started on what could be the biggest fundraiser to date for your organization, email sswking@aol.com, and we will get you all the information about bringing the TV stars to your town to raise money for your organization. Catch the TV stars when they come to a town near you. Make your plans now to be with us for our annual holiday spectacular. Christmas night Star Wars in Mount Carmel, Tennessee. 2 big events for our annual Thanksgiving extravaganza. Black Friday, November 29th, Mount Carmel, Tennessee. Saturday, November 30th, Morristown, Tennessee, National Guard Armory. Now let's get ready to boogie. It's the 30 Years of Rocking Tour. Ricky Morton, Robert Gibson, the Rock and Roll Express return to the Mountain Empire. Saturday night, November the 2nd, Union High School, Big Stone Gap, Virginia, bell time 7:30. Sunday, November the 3rd, 6 p.m., Armed Forces Center Armory, Mount Carmel, Tennessee, just minutes from downtown Kingsport. More dates to be announced next week, so watch Southern States Wrestling right here on Tri-Cities TNN next Sunday, 7:30 for more information. Don't forget, 30 Years of Rocking, Saturday night, November 2nd, Big Stone Gap, Virginia, Sunday, November 3rd, Mount Carmel, Tennessee. Be there. There you heard not only how to bring Southern States Wrestling to your town, but you also heard if you got a business out there, you got an event coming up, you got products you're trying to sell, spend that advertising dollar wisely and advertise right here, not only on Southern States Wrestling program, but there's also another program that I'm helping produce is getting ready to hit the airwaves on Tri-Cities TNN. It's called Appalachian Showcase, the best of music and arts of the Appalachian Mountains, and we're going to tell you all about that next week right here on the program. Now let's talk about it. Rock and Roll Express are coming to town. We're going to show you in just a few minutes what they're bringing with them when they come here to the Mountain Empire, make their big return. But there's already a team that's thrown out a challenge that says if they come here, we want to get in the ring with them. We want to show Robert Gibson, we want to show Ricky Morton that not only will we beat them, not only will we beat them up, but we'll injure them, we'll humiliate them, and we'll end the 30 years right here of the Rock and Roll Express. I'm talking about Southern States Tag Team Champions. I'm talking about Frank Parker, Mr. Destruction. They call him that for a reason. I'm talking about Scott Sterling, a great, tremendous singles wrestler and also had a great, tremendous tag team career over the years. These two men have been long-time mainstay fixtures right here in Southern States Wrestling. And what I want to do is take a look at not only how they go out to not just beat their opponents, but they won't go out to hurt them. Let's take a look at the Southern States Tag Team Champions.
Got the fingernails now, raking in that laceration that's on Beau James' forehead. Blood is flowing already down, as you can see it right there on your screen. Makes the tag Scott Sterling coming in now. These two gentlemen are serious now about retaining those Southern States Tag Team Championships. Scott Sterling was basically toyed with the first time that he was in the ring. Now it's time for maybe a little bit of retribution. Scott Sterling now. Oh, Beau James is still down on the side of the ring here. Here comes referee Jake Booth. Well, maybe not referee Jake Booth anymore. Professional wrestler Jake Booth. He reaches in, grabs hold of Scott Sterling. Scott Sterling just punched him in the top of the head. Wait a minute. Taking a steel chair and driving it in on Steve Flynn. Jake Booth, not really much that he can do.
Scott Sterling caught Jake when he went into the ropes now, and now the advantage has changed. And Frank the Tank Parker is putting the boots to Jake Booth. This is where that veteran experience comes in, Mike.
Joe, Jake Booth has found himself in a part of the ring that he's sure God doesn't want to stay in very long. They have basically drawn a line from corner post to corner post, and now he's in big business territory, and this spells bad trouble for Jake Booth. I can tell you right now, Jake Booth's such a likable guy, one of the best referees, one of the best officials that I'd ever seen inside the squared circle. At such a young age, too, he learned his craft, he mastered his craft, and now he says, hey, I want to make my way inside the squared circle in another realm, and that is to be a professional wrestler. And, he's got boots on right now, but it may take a lot to fill those boots because he's in there with Scott Sterling, a real ring veteran. Like I said, he's former Tennessee champion and currently the co-holder of the tag team titles. And I'll tell you right now, Jake Booth is outmatched here.
The devil out of there. That's probably the smartest thing he's done all night. Big Frank the Tank coming in now. Mr. Destruction, the enforcer, if you will, of the big business army. He's got Jake, takes him over to that turnbuckle face first, driving him in. Big Frank now takes his man. Oh, drove him into that turnbuckle right there. Frank Parker's 300-plus pounds, and he just put every bit of it behind that. 2 count only, though. Jake Booth kicked out after 2. It just goes to show he's got a lot of fire, a lot of fight left in him here, as Frank now resorting to a couple of closed fists as he is threatening the referee. But in the meantime, that's allowing Jake to get back up. Big double punch. And again, Jake Booth fired up on Frank Parker. And Parker going right to the eyes right there.
He was in the eyes, the nose, something, man. He was just trying to rip the skin off the face there of Jake Booth. I feel sorry for him. If he does not get over and make a tag to Beau James or Jimmy Valiant very, very soon, he could risk permanent injury right here against Frank the Tank Parker. Going in now and driving a big knee right to the forehead of Jake Booth. Unbelievable action that we've seen here at Christmas Night Star Wars. We got to cover 1, 2, and only a 2. And we've still got a big main event to come featuring special guest referee Dr. Tom Pritchard. And I'm certainly excited about seeing that. And I can tell you right now, we've mentioned the 22nd anniversary event coming up for Southern States Wrestling in the month of February 2013. But that's not all. We've got a huge year in store for the fans, Joe Wheeler, right here in the Mountain Empire. I know events have already been lined up for other towns, other cities across East Tennessee, and it's going to be something to behold when Southern States Wrestling comes to your town. And you got to believe that Scott Sterling and Frank Parker, as he misses an elbow there, they're going to be a part of it, defending those SSW tag team belts.
Absolutely, man. We are going at it tooth and nail here. Scott Sterling went to the eyes of Jake Booth. And, it kind of surprises me in a way that Sterling and Parker keep resorting to going to the eyes of Jake Booth. They obviously see this young man as a serious enough threat that they're going to resort to such tactics. I mean, it's not uncommon for these guys to use these tactics, but as much as they have in this matchup, they obviously are seriously. That clothesline attempt right there delivers a big clothesline of his own to Equalizer Crunch, as Crunch is down and staggered at this point. Frank Parker, former SSW heavyweight champion, tremendous competitor. Love him or hate him, you can't deny his in-ring ability. Frank knows how to get that job done. Oh, Scott Sterling right there with a handful of beard.
There you saw the Southern States Tag Team Champions. What a awesome team they are. Destructive team. You saw them in there beating me up, beating Jake up, beating Crunch up, beating a whole lot of guys that's made good around here for themselves. But, Once you get those tag team titles, that's the easy part. The hard part is keeping them, and Frank Parker and Scott Sterling have kept them for a year now. They've went through everybody that's come at them, and they have got dead level set. Their mind and their eyes are set right on the Rock and Roll Express, and I hope right in here next week to not only talk to either Scott or Frank. I'd like to have both of them here. We're going to hear from the Rock and Roll Express coming up in just a few minutes, but everybody keeps asking me, well, who else is coming back to Southern States Wrestling? Who else is going to be right here in SSW? Who are we missing? Who would we like to see again? Well, here's just a look at some of the stars that you're going to be seeing right here, Southern States Wrestling, come this fall. Calvary Baptist Church, 1238 Pine Street, Kingsport, Tennessee. Regular schedule of services: Sunday, 9:15 a.m. for Bible study fellowship class for all ages. 10:30 a.m. worship. 6 p.m. blast for children, wake for youth. Sunday night life for adults. Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. children and youth activities. 3D Bible study for adults.
If you're part of a nonprofit organization, listen to this. Make Southern States Wrestling a part of your next fundraiser or charitable event. Southern States Wrestling has spent years working with organizations, and they can help you too. Bring in the stars of Southern States Wrestling for a night of family fun and a great way to raise money for your group.
To get started on what could be the biggest fundraiser to date for your organization, email sswking@aol.com, and we will get you all the information about bringing the TV stars to your town to raise money for your organization. Welcome back to Southern States Wrestling right here. Beau James, your old buddy here. Some people like to call me the King of Kingsport, and I want to remind you just one more time. Email me, nonprofit group, send me an email right now. This week, Misty and I, we went down to some fire departments around the Rogersville area that called us. We went to Morristown, we went to Greene County. We visited some schools that want a nonprofit. They want us to come in there and raise some money for their organization. Jump on it right now. Send me an email tonight or in the morning. By Friday, we hope to have a date locked down and ready to announce it right here next week on television. Tell the people we're coming to their town and coming to raise money for your organization. Now, we saw Misty James and Samantha Star earlier from Hudson, North Carolina. What I want to do right now is go to Hudson one more time. The Rock and Roll Express in action. We brought the cameras from Tennessee over to Hudson to see Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson in action, and it turned out to be a much bigger night than we expected as they go for the North American Tag Team titles in James Brody and Ty Tyson. It was a heck of a match. You're going to see the legendary Babydoll at ringside. Also, Hudson, North Carolina, this past Saturday night, the Rock and Roll Express. Here we are, Hudson, North Carolina, North American Tag Team titles on the line. James Brody and Ty Tyson defending against the legendary Rock and Roll Express. We picked the action about 15 minutes into the matchup, and Ricky Morton has found himself in some trouble. There's a cheap shot by James Brody, and Morton falls to the ropes, and looky there, Babydoll, the legendary valet, is choking the life right out of Morton. Morton has been in trouble for several minutes during this matchup. The tag team champions have did quite a number on him, working on his back. And there you see Ty Tyson going right back on Ricky Morton's back. They had a game plan. They went right after the Rock and Roll Express. They cut the ring off. Big high slam there from Ty. And he's got Ricky Morton down. Could this do it? But he kicked out. You see a reverse bear hug. They went after his ribs. They went after his back. Ricky Morton had fought and fought. This is about 18 minutes into the match, and Morton barely able to stand, fighting with everything he's got. And he knows the ring. He knows where he's at. All these years in wrestling, all these titles, he knows when it's time to turn it up, and that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to get to his partner, Robert Gibson, because he knows if he can get that tag, they have a chance of leaving Hudson, North Carolina, the North American Tag Team Champions. Tag on the other side. Babydoll holding on to the foot. Morton kicking. There's the roll. Big tag to Robert Gibson, who comes in, and we've seen this many times over the years. Robert Gibson's a house of fire. Runs their heads together. Big sleeper here. James Brody cuts him off. He stops it. Robert Gibson still in control. Ricky Morton, short jab right to the jaw right there. Just patented Rock and Roll Express. Oh no, they had them well scouted. Rock and Roll ran together. You don't see that often. James Brody makes a mistake right there. Are they setting up for the... Could this be it? The legendary double drop kick that's brought him 8 World Tag Team titles, and now the North American Tag Team titles.
You know, Ricky, some things never change, but we went out there tonight, about 4,000 people. What do? We rocked the house. People screaming, rock and roll, rock and roll. Hey, we're coming your way.
And we're coming your way, that's right, because on November the 2nd, we're going to be in Big Stone Gap down at the high school, back in our old territory, Robert, back on our stomping grounds. So no matter who you are, come on down and see us, but let's don't stop there. How about let's go down to Mount Carmel, down at the National Guard Armory on November the 3rd, and we're going to have it in the afternoon. Boys, let me tell you something. When Rock and Roll get together, all we do is create stormy weather. We'll see you at Big Stone Gap on the 2nd, and we'll see you at Mount Carmel at the National Guard Armory on the 3rd.
Double your pleasure.
There you saw them. There you heard from them. The Rock and Roll Express. They told you about the 30 Years of Rockin' Tour. Big Stone Gap, Virginia, Saturday night, November the 2nd. Sunday evening, 6 p.m., Mount Carmel, Tennessee, Sunday, November the 3rd. And right here next week, I hope to be making a big announcement about Friday night, November the 1st, another huge event added to the Rock and Roll Express Tour coming to the Mountain Empire. Also next week, we're going to see Scott Sterling, one half of the Tag Team Champions, in action as he takes on Rookie of the Year Jake Booth right here next week. We're going to hear from Misty James. She's going to be talking about some ladies that are coming in the area after her. We're going to tell you about some other events coming up in the fall. Southern States Wrestling, 22 years, still going strong. We may have taken a break, but we're here and we're getting ready for our biggest fall, biggest winter that we have ever had. And I want you to, if you're watching us on social media, share the link. Let everybody know they can watch it at any time. YouTube.com/King of Kingsport, or go to my website, kingofkingsport.com. Sunday night, 7:30 right here on Tri-Cities TNN. Primetime Wrestling, Southern States Wrestling right here. Till next week, Beau James saying so long from the Volunteer State.